Good morning from Nugget Shooter Journals. But I'm not in the desert today, am I? Nope, we're up near Flagstaff, a little community called Mormon Lake. And we're doing something a little different today and this whole weekend. I'm going to be doing a little fishing, but today we're hunting mushrooms. Now it's pretty dry up here, but we're looking for boletes and or lobster mushroom and anything else that is a edible shroom we might find. And it's pretty dry, like I said, but they just got a bunch of rain, so we may get lucky. And we're going to walk around a little bit and just kind of look around under the trees and whatnot, and hopefully we'll come across a few tasty morsels to have with our steak and pork chops or whatever we have for tonight for dinner. And it's beautiful out here today. It's in the hundreds down where we're from, but it's gorgeous here today. There's Tammy over there. She's getting ready to hunt with me. Her first time hunting mushrooms. And there's Bruno the Wonder Dog. And well, I'm going to shut this thing off and we're going to walk over to that low area right there and hope there's enough moisture that woke a few mushrooms up out of her nap, and maybe we'll get lucky. Cross your fingers. Here we go. All right, this is kind of cool. It's awful dry out here for mushroom finding, but there's Tammy's got an old relic piece over there, and if you look up here, there's some cable laying here. But what's most noticeable is this long stretch of rocks. Kind of looks like tailings or something, but they're not. You know what this is? This was an old railroad. They had rails on here, and I believe they probably used animals to pull the logs along the rails here, because this was all logging community. This goes on for miles out here in some places. This is amazing. Where they hauled this stuff out, and it's pretty cool. It's really dry. I'm not sure on the mushrooms this trip, but this is pretty cool to see anyway. I didn't expect to find this back here, but a lot of the logging areas have this sort of thing around. There's Tammy.
Hi, y'all.
Oh, where's the other guy? There he is.
I have not seen this, like nothing like this before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Wonder how
but
far
there's,
it goes.
you can see cable and stuff along here. Here's some right here. And this is part of what they used to use to pull. This one's obviously broken, snapped, so they got rid of it. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. We're gonna walk down here a little bit and look around, but boy, it's looking pretty dry in here, guys. They had some rain the last couple days, and maybe they'll pop up in a day or two after the rain, but it's hard to say.
Maybe it'll rain while we're here, honey.
Yeah, it's a dry year.
Maybe.
But look here, we do have cactus up here in the high country. We're about 7,200 feet. We got these little guys growing. And we also got to kind of watch out for chiggers, so we spray our pant legs. When in the wetter years, they can get pretty bad. You can see there's been water movement real recent right here. Look how that stuff they just hauled those logs right along these old trails. Handmade. That way they could set the rail on something and it would stay steady. Pretty cool. Just really cool. So anyway, we're going to walk around some more and see what we can't find. You don't always score, but I brought the fishing pole, so if we can't find mushrooms, by golly, I'll go fishing. So anyway, we're going to walk around some more and enjoy the woods and the cool air. It's going to be well above 110 down in the valley this weekend, and I'm not real fond of that sort of thing. But who knows, walking around, we may find some cool old bottles or other relics out here. There's a lot of stuff laying right along here from the loggers, so we'll see what we can come up with. It's going to be a good trip. I'll get back. Well, this is kind of neat. They had two tracks that intersected right here. Look here. One goes off that way, and there's another this way, and right here at this little group of oak trees is where they intersected and went up that way. And Mormon Lake used to have water in it, so they were able to float those logs across or whatever they used to do and get them to the sawmill. I'm not sure how all that went way back then. So this was early 1900s when the logging went on here most actively. It's so cool back here. The moss is really dried up. There's some right here. dry as a bone. It's not looking good for mushroom picking this weekend. We may have to wait till we get some more rain and maybe go to Payson area or somewhere like that and look around. We're still going to have a nice trip, and I need some relaxation, and we'll show you a little bit of northern Arizona. Now, why aren't we gold detecting or anything here? Well, if you look at the rocks, number one, we got all one type of rock in here, and that is volcanic basalt. All right, this is part of a huge lava flow, and there's just no gold to be found here that you can find with a detector anyway, and probably not much to find with any other equipment. Anything here would be mighty microscopic. It's just a beautiful area. Look how blue that sky is today. Woo! Very nice. But there's a burn in here too. You come across charred logs every now and then, and that's always a good thing when you're hunting mushrooms. But like I said, it's awful dry. It's been a weird monsoon season. Usually we've had a lot of rain by now. This year is just not happening. I don't know. Strange. Well, we're going to give it our best shot anyway, and we may have to share mushroom hunting with you another time if we don't find any the next day or two. Hopefully all that rain we had will cause a couple to pop up. What the heck is that? Something right here. There's a little bitty top off a mushroom, long dead. Right there. Yep. All right, I'll be back.
Also,
They must have got some pretty good rain anyway. Look here. Some pretty good sized puddles over here. But boy, it's sure dry out there in the woods. Yeah, we're going to keep looking around. Well, it's not going great for Team Mushroom. It is really dry out here. Lots of pretty flowers and some pretty cool lichen on the rocks. I always think that's cool stuff. And that is actually edible and high in protein. Tastes terrible, but if you're starving to death, it'll keep you alive. It kept the pioneers alive and Indians. But there's some old growth trees back in here. But it's just too darn dry for mushrooms, I think, my friends. Kind of discouraging. I don't know if that means there'll be a really good flush of them when the rains start, if they ever do. But we're getting pretty late in the year, and if it doesn't start raining pretty quick, we won't see a whole lot of rain till fall and early winter. Weird pile of rocks over here. Huh. Wonder what that used to be. Fire pit? Yep, it's an old fire pit. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna walk around here a little bit with Bruno and look around, enjoy the forest. It doesn't look like much in the way of mushrooms today, my friends. But it's always nice to see the diversity of Arizona. I mean, we've got lowland deserts. We've got the pinyon juniper belt between the forest and the desert. And then we got up here, which is absolutely gorgeous. Although it's usually a lot wetter. Just, you never know, do you? I'm gonna walk around a little more, hope I get lucky and see when it poked out. We're gonna look a couple more days because they just had some rain. And who knows, it may have just been enough rain that something will come up in the next day or so. Like I said, it's not looking too good though. So anyway, be back with you in a minute. Much of this area got logged back in the old days, but every now and then you come across some of this old growth stuff. Look at this ponderosa pine. Look at the size of that thing. That's an old pine, my friends. God knows how long that's been here. Whew. Beautiful. Against that blue sky. It's a lot of tree right there. Because they cut a lot of this down. And way back in the day, a lot of it got clear cut because there wasn't any laws to stop them from doing it. But it's growing back quite nicely. And the smart loggers actually did do some replanting so that they could come back and log it 15, 20 years later. Planning ahead, eh? But boy, that's a big tree. Tammy and I couldn't put our arms around that one. It's huge. The one next to it's old too. There's a dead one in the background there. A couple of them. A lot of old growth in here. Be a good place to pick mushrooms if it was a little wetter. Yes, it would. Well, this is going to be it for our first little mushroom hunt. First day anyway. This is beautiful country. And more old growth trees. This one has a tag on it. I didn't notice. I wonder what this says. Bearing tree. Corner is approximately, I'll be darned, look at that. That's something I've never seen before. This tree is a marker. It's an old ponderosa pine. Old pine. Old. Look how tall. It is huge. Oh, Lord. Yeah. We just heard elk bugling right close to us here. There's elk scat all over in here, and tracks and places that they've been scraping around, like right here. Pretty darn cool. Anyway, the truck's over there. You can see it through the trees, and Tammy's over there looking for more arrowhead shards. We found a spot where apparently, I don't know if there's a village in the area or an Indian just snapped a couple arrowheads here, but she's finding obsidian chips from napping, and she also has a half an arrowhead. Kind of looks like they got halfway through it and it broke. It is really cool. And I don't know, I think that's going to be about it for today, unless I see something cool on the way back to the truck. For now, my friends, no mushrooms for today. The ground's just too darn dry. They did have some rain a couple days ago, so we're gonna hope we can come out in another day or two, and that rain stimulated something to grow. We'll see. We're sure are having fun though. And hearing that elk bugling right over the hill there was pretty cool too. But we might come over here and hunt the little washes for arrowheads too. Yeah, who knows? For now, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, and ring that little bell next to the subscribe button, and you won't miss anything. You never know what we're going to be doing, exploring or gold hunting or fishing or who knows. But this has been a good trip so far, and we're not going back down to the valley for a couple days. It's going to be way too hot, so we'll stay up here where it's nice and cool. Like a shooter out.